everybody. Look, I'm back. Yes, I'm back at the layout area. I have done some things. This is an update. I hope you enjoy the update. Some things are changing. I made some progress. Did some buildings upstairs. It was fun. I just put in a road back here for the grain facility and my power plant. And still a lot of stuff I want to do to the scene. But I tell you what I did and show you a few things. It's coming along nicely. Kind of refresh where I picked up the last video. But good to be back working on the layout. Tuesday night, On Track Tuesday, I'll do another reminder, but I will be probably live from down here on the layout. That'll be nice. And of course some things will probably change between now and then. I may have a little help this weekend. I might have my dad come over, so maybe have a little help getting to some areas I can't reach, but up front I'm no problem here. And to the back I can reach because that's the way I made that, unlike my last layout. So I hope you enjoy the layout, guys, the layout update, and I will catch you guys this week, and I'll catch you guys next week as I'm catching up on all kinds of videos. So enjoy the update. If you're new here, hit like, subscribe, please. I'm trying to get more subscribers. I think the more videos I make, obviously, the more subscribers I'm going to get. So thank you very much, and I will see you guys later.
Okay, this is just a refresher, and I'll kind of tell you what I'm going to do going forward. Definitely going to knock some things out here on the layout for sure. So what you're looking at are the two buildings I talked about previous videos. I did finish this Walters AMD elevator kit, and as you can see, I did a few little extra things. I put this Rick's elevator on top. This is evergreen piping. Made another little extra. Didn't put the little towers here, the little drying things they had with this kit. I'll probably use them on another kit somewhere. But I did put the plaster struck railing, and of course I did get a little closer look. Did put the yellow around here, put the yellow around here. This is an old Rick's I've had for a long time. I thought that would be a nice little detail. Could not get this to line up very good. So I'm going to put another vent right there. I'll find one in my stuff, and we'll put it there. I did use the Pillsbury decal from a different kit, actually from this Red Wing milling kit. And you can see the Pillsbury on the side there. I lengthened these tracks here to hold more cars. These both hold about 25 hopper cars approximately each on each one. So this will be a very busy facility. It's going to be a big part of the layout, switching out when I do operations. This building, I'm going to have a few more little details to put on this, but that will get done as well. We're going to run a road back here in a parking lot, as well as a road back there for trucks to turn around, because there will be truck service on the other side, as there is on the back of this. If I turn this around, you can see the detail on it for the trucks. They'll pull under here. This was actually the rail side. I flipped the building completely around just because the only rail service I want is for the big elevator, and this will be a truck facility as well for flour. And I got to get some more trucks to come in there too. So that was all, took the dock off of there and everything. So then we'll continue the road up here, right up to the back of the furniture factory right there, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do. But I'm going to go up to there. Got to finish my bridge there, but that's a little bit later because I'm focusing in on this area first. So we're going to do that. But first things first, I do have to paint all the rails back over here. There is a little hiccup with this number 4 here. Cars coming in hit something in here, and a certain one's derail. So I got to figure out what that is. It may just need some little sanding here on the frog or something. We'll figure that out. I finally finally painted this structure here to match the engine house. I talked about that for well over a year and never did it, but I do have it done now. That's nice. I'm gonna weather this a little bit, just slightly, because it'll be maybe an upgraded building that they do use a car shop. There will be eventually lights in here. No hurry for that, but there will be details inside. There'll be workers, there'll be some tools, stuff like that. I'm going to get the Woodland Scenics kit, as well as in here in the engine house. You can see now it is up on cork. I know when Vinny made this, the design was for the Unitrack to roll in there. It still looks fine, as you can see. Still leaves not you know, a big gap. The reason why I did that is because I'm going to bring this out, and I have a sanding and fueling kit that I'm going to set between these two tracks here, but I need this up to put a platform in here for it. So that's why I had to raise that, which you won't even notice once that's all done, and of course landscaped. And then we're going to go back here. Of course, I'm going to landscape all that, make a junkyard back there. Some of that stuff I'm going to take back out. There's some other details I need to put in the engine house. Of course, a crew. Some mechanics. I want to take this off because Vinny made this way. As you can see, this is a true Vinny built structure, and you do get a little sign. And I love the way he made this for display purposes. But we'll take a look inside. I got to glue the rails down and fix those inside. But what I want to do is one of these tracks, either this one in here, which you can't see. I want to put a scaffolding along there for inspection of a locomotive. I may have to scratch build it based on, I know the Bachmann makes one for fueling. If I could find that, it would probably go on this long track. But I would really, if I could, I would put it there, I guess. But I really like one on one of these tracks just for, you know, for maintenance and inspection purposes. And this will also be weathered a little bit. We'll have a Coke machine in here that's lit, a crew area, probably back here somewhere. There'll be posters on the wall. We'll weather the inside just slightly to match it. There'll be little details like engines and parts and stuff on there too, as well as mechanics. Woodland Scenics does make the mechanics set for that. So that's what I'm going to do. Stay tuned, and I'll show you a little bit of what I'm going to do in this update. All right, guys, what you're looking at here is the road going back to the grain elevator. It is in. It's drying right now. That building's just sitting on the layout. That building's lightly sitting on a drier spot. I think it'll be okay. Not worried about that. As you can see, that's still drying. Some spots are dry. But I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to do a 3-part painting of it, which I'll tell you kind of how I did that when I show you the finished product. It's kind of a process I saw somebody do on foam. It'll probably work the same on plaster. That's what I'm using, just using the DAP plaster. It works great. That's what I use my other roads for. This is just a 1-lane road that goes back there, a little bit of parking. And then once I let it dry and paint it, I'm going to do the landscaping, of course, and ballasting. Which brings me to the track. I did weather it, as you can see. It is cleaned off. I use a CRC and a Bright Boy. I use both. There's still some spots I haven't done yet. I touched up a little bit. So I got to let it still kind of set up and dry, and I'll come back and make sure it's really clean. Especially after I ballast it, I'll come back and clean it again on the top. And of course I vacuum, and I make sure there's no loose particles and anything like that, so engines, locomotives don't pick them up and do bad things to the gears and stuff in them. We don't want that, and that's the way I've done it ever since my last layout where I had an issue with over ballasting. So I do it very lightly in the middle of the ties. I will do the middle of the tie, so if there's a little paint here and there, it's not a big issue. You won't notice it. You can look at the back main back there, you don't notice it. So you won't notice it on this. Even though this is more in the forefront, you still won't notice it. It's bad, but it's coming along. So I cleaned that up, of course, like I said, a Bright Boy and some CRC. So it should be pretty good. And of course, I'll clean it up again after I ballast it again. So I'll just let this dry, and we'll come back and I'll show you the progress, and I'll see how it looks after it's painted. Okay, we are back. This has been painted. What I did with the road is I may even go back and put a little more on there in some spots. I can use chalk as well. But what I did is a nice thick layer of black paint. I used these two colors here. Put the black down nice and thick, let that dry, came back with the pewter gray, gave it a little bit of wash, put some water in it to give it a wash, to kind of white it up a little bit. I think I'm still going to come back and do a little more, but it does look good, especially there in the middle where the road is. Looks really good. Here, if I move this building, because that's not where it's going to go, but you can kind of see how that looks patchy. I like that look. This will be back probably more like right here. But the road into the facility is getting glued down, the rails. Hope you like my system for the rails. There's another tie at the end there where the bumpers are to make sure they get glued down before I ballast it. Ballasting will also glue this down as well, but I like to make sure it doesn't move on me when I ballast. But before I ballast, I will do scenery. And that I also want the track in place when I do the scenery so it doesn't move on me. That's always a good tip. Make sure that when you're doing unitrack, make sure that, you know, if you got it where you want it and you're going to do scenery around it, make sure it's glued down so it doesn't move before you ballast. Always do your scenery before you ballast. That's how I do it anyway, because it looks natural, it looks real, like the railroad came through and put ballast down on for it, because what was always there first? The landscape was there before the railroad. So that's how I do it. We're going to put some landscaping in here, of course, and to here. This is also being glued in as well. And this road did turn out real nice. I'm going to do all that back along between the track and the road again with some static grass and some bushes and stuff. We're going to redo that and clean this area in the back. There's some debris from when I was cutting wood, doing home improvement projects. Clean that up a little bit too while I'm, you know, back here doing this. So as you guys can see, looks really good. Now the engine house, this track's not glued down yet. It's not glued in the engine house. I'm working on it, getting this where I'm going to have a platform. I'm going to use the same styrene thickness here, and I'm probably going to put one on this side too a little bit. Have a platform there as well, because I might use these. I have not decided how these are going to work yet, but I tried the sand tower there in the middle here, the little one. I believe this is the fuel tower. So that's okay. I just need to run a line out to where they can fuel. This might be the fueling lines here actually for it. I think that is. So I can't really do it on the other side, so I may just have to leave it like this, which would be okay. I'm okay with that. It looks like a nice little part of the facility. It is weathered a little bit as well. I may take a little bit of that off. That was a little bit too much. It's when I first started weathering. But I'm going to do the platform there up to that point where those locos are. And then, of course, this will be glued down and ballasted. And there'll be a little road going back here between the buildings, back to the back there, where there will be like a salvage area of some old locomotives all rusted up. We put in an old track to make it look like it used to be like an old track. They put stuff out there to rust and cut off of, and we'll make it look good. So I think this update, I'm going to call it here. Very happy with how this is going. It's going pretty good. Good to be back doing things again. This is going to be nice area here, and then I'm going to, of course, come forward towards the front when I do it. So thank you, everybody. Hit like, subscribe. Hope you enjoy this layout update. And look for the next one, because the next one, this is going to look even more improved than it does now for sure. You're not even going to recognize it. Guarantee it. So we'll catch you next update. Thank you, guys.